Alright, so we're on day 2. It's like 50 degrees out here, so I'm a little layered up. I've got my plywood ready to start getting cut down to 2-foot strips. I've measured it out. One side to 2 feet, the other side to 2 feet. This is not a true 4 feet. So what I'm going to end up doing is cutting down in the middle to create an equal shelf. Now, I don't need all 4 of these because it's only 10 feet. These are 4 by 8 foot sheets of plywood. So I could probably get sloppy on a couple of them, but I'm almost certain that all of them aren't going to measure out to 4 feet. I've got my jig set up. I'm going to get that calibrated in so that it's right in the middle of these marks. I'm just going to start ripping all this plywood, and then we'll drag it into the garage and finish up these shelves hopefully today. Let's get to it. Safety, safety, safety. This is done. Let's get into the garage and start building up the legs. Alright, so I warmed up pretty fast. I took my overshirt off. It's just me today. I think I've come up with a pretty ingenious way on how to start framing this out. Alright, since my 4 by 8 sheets of plywood aren't exactly 4 feet wide, I got a little creative and I put 2 2x4s at one edge. I measured out so that I know the length of my cross members. And then I started cutting them and tusk fitting them. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to butt them up against the wall. I've got 2 cut already. I'm going to screw them into the wall, make sure they're level, and I'm going to start framing it out from there. Alright, those 4 are up against the wall. I need to get these 4 done on this side so I can put my cross beams on and make sure they're level. Now, I'm going to do the first one on the bottom, and that's going to need a leg almost immediately because there's going to be a lot of weight twisting that down. I'm going to prop it up with some jack stands so it doesn't fall over. Let's get at least that bottom one installed, the cross member, and then start putting in legs, and I'll work my way up on the far end, and then I can fill in the support beams as I go. Sounds like a plan. Alright, I got that end supported with my step stool. It's not level, I know, but it's there. I'm going to attach this end, and then I'm going to come across and attach that end. I'm not going to worry about it level until I get the leg put on. Well, it's dark now. A quick update. I've decided that I'm going to put the end leg on. I've already done that. I took one of my spare 8-foot 2x4s, cut it down to about the height and plus an inch of the back brace. So that gives me some, I can trim the top off if I have to. What I did is I leveled the bottom shelf and plumbed everything up. So I gave myself a 2x4 space so I could still screw in the shelf braces. I want to at least get the framing done tonight, and then I can start cutting the wood down for the bottom shelf. I'm going to work my way up laying the plywood down because if I don't, it's going to be a colossal pain in the butt. And then I'll put the middle leg in. I'm only going to do 3 legs. I was going to do a leg on this side, but it's screwed into the studs, so I don't think it's going to go anywhere. If things start to shift and sag, I will brace it with a leg, but for now, I don't plan on putting anything too super heavy on this. It's not like I'm putting dumbbells sets on this. It's just storage for all my stuff. I'm not going to put water bottles on it, that's for sure. I just wanted to give you that quick update. It's been a long day. I worked on this in a couple hours in the morning. Then I had to pick up the youngest, bring him home, wait an hour, go pick up the oldest, bring him home, and then it's homework and dinner, and now they're inside watching TV with their mother, and I'm out in the garage making noise. That's where I'm at right now. Record another update here in a little bit so you can see my progress. Catch you in a minute. Just to give you a quick idea on how I'm doing this, I'm clamping the end over there to the leg that's upright, that is level and plumb and as straight as can be. And then over here, I'm going to raise it up and then secure it. Come back over here, make sure it's level this way and that way, north, south, east, west. And then I'll secure it to the leg and then to the 2x4 cross piece. I'm going to do this for every rung. I think that's going to be the easiest way to make sure everything's level and straight. And I'm doing this by myself, so that's pretty much the only option I have. Ta-da! Yeah, it's a little proud on top. I can trim that off, that's okay. Or I can leave it, it doesn't really matter to me. I'd rather have it a little too long than a little too short, because that's what was ending up with the 6 foot. And that's the whole reason I'm doing this. You're probably thinking, so Brian, you're putting yourself through all this trouble. Why just not build a simple frame and put it on the floor? This garage floor is anything but even in any one spot on the stupid floor. It rises, it pitches, it falls. So I can't just build a simple frame, make it square and level, and put it on this floor and not have things start to fall off. It pitches down this way, it pitches down this way. So that's why I'm securing it to the wall and then having legs go down first and then work their way up. I got the frame done. The next step is I'm going to, every 2 feet on center, put a cross beam, and that'll work for a couple of reasons, because this is 8 foot plywood and it'll reach into the middle of the plywood so I can secure both pieces to the same stud, alternating screws of course, and that should give me plenty of support. Now this is only 1/4 inch plywood, and again, I'm not putting anything super heavy on this. It's only 1/4 inch plywood. If it was 1/2 inch, I'd be more okay with, and if I had, a couple more legs. But I wanted this to be as simple as possible. I did have to reach into my stock of 2x4s because the leg situation wasn't working out. I'd rather have 10-foot sections and then work with the rest, and then have solid legs and not a long enough shelf. Even still, the shelf doesn't reach all the way to the wall, which is okay. It's not ideal, but it'll work. So that's where I'm at now, and ultimately why I'm doing this. I'm going to clean this mess up and go for a 3rd day. See you then.